Very good afternoon, one and all. My name is Hari, presenting a demo on programmable logic controllers. In short, it is called as PLC. At the end of this session, you will be able to understand what is PLC, understand what is automation, what is relay logic system, and know the history of PLC, its architecture, and different types of programming languages, and the mostly used programming language, that is ladder diagram and execution of ladder diagram. So before going into the topic, first we should know what is automation, how can we use automation, why should we use automation. So the word automation is extracted from the word automatic. Automatic means the machine itself do the task. So in the same way, automation means it is a technology by which a process or a task is performed with minimum human assistance. Though the machine performs the tasks on its own, why we are saying automatic, why we are saying minimum human assistance means in order to operate the machine, manpower is required. So that is the reason why we are saying minimum human assistance. But why we should go for this automation means, first one is it reduces the time, because machines can do faster than humans. And second advantage is that quality also increases. Third one is better repeatability. Suppose if we do that same task again and again, we may or may not be get the same output, same exact output. But if a machine do the same work again and again a number of times, it may get same output. And next, it requires less manpower, because machine itself doing tasks, manpower also reduces. And next, productivity also increases. Why? Because we can run a machine for 24 hours continuously. So obviously productivity also increases. And there are some environments like high temperatures, fire, underwater, space. There humans cannot go and do work. So in those places, automation helps. Next, automation also helps doing tasks beyond human capability. Suppose if you want to lift, if I want to lift 10 kg weight, I can easily lift. But if I want to lift the weight of 100 kgs, then it is very difficult to lift. So in those conditions, machines are very helpful. So it also increases safety and efficient usage of energy and raw materials. It's different types of automations. So there are different types of automations where the entire process is done automatically with machines, like building automation, office automation, scientific automation, light automation, industrial automation. Suppose if you go for a building, nowadays everything is automatic, like lifts, smoke detectors, fire alarms, everything is automatic. And in office, CC cameras also nowadays becoming automatic. Why? Because in the screen, if any object is moving, then it automatically alerting the operator. And coming to scientific automation, the best example is rocket launching station, where the rocket is completely launched automatically without human power. Next, light automation means, take an example of street lights. Whenever the sun goes off, then street lights automatically turns on by using a sensor. And the most major application of this automation is industrial automations, where the manufacturing of any product is completely done by using automation. Next, relay logic system. Relay logic system means in olden days the automation is completely done by using relays, and relay is a switch which is operated electrically, and it consists of 5 terminals. So in order to make switching operations, relay is used. Suppose take an example of this right side picture. It is a panel of an industry which is consisting of hundreds of relays which are connected together to make a process automatic. So relay consists of this is an example of a circuit which is consisting a relay. So here a bulb which is connected to a supply with the help of relay, and relay consists of a core to which we have to give external supply. Whenever we give external supply to this core, it attracts the top lever. So that lever comes bottom and it attaches with the bottom lever. Now the circuit gets closed and bulb turns on. So here what is happening is, we are not directly controlling switch. We are controlling the switch by using relay. Means relay is controlling the entire circuit. So we are making this process automatic by using relay. So in olden days, each and every company uses hundreds of relays to make process automatic. But the disadvantage is, if a company want to make the entire process automatic, it requires n number of relays, hundreds of relays. So it requires lot of spaces, and installation is also very difficult. If there is any problem in the system, then to get where the problem is, that is also very difficult. And if you want to change the system process, that is also very difficult. And expandability, if you want to extend our process or company, that is also very difficult. So as the relay is increasing, voids increasing, cost is also increasing. And relays environmental conditions also affects the entire system. So because of this reason, relay logic system got failed and PLC was introduced in 1960s. So PLC is a programmable logic controller, and the name itself saying that it is a controller which is going to control some logics by using some program. So it is a solid state device. It takes the input and perform the tasks based upon its program and gives the output. According to NEMA, National Electrical Manufacturers Association, which is located in USA, defines PLC as a digital electronic apparatus which is used to implement some specific functions to control a process. Why PLC is used means it reduces the time, increases the quality, repeatability. What are the disadvantages in the relay logic system? Those are the advantages of this PLC. So how PLC works? Take an example of a four-wheeler. In order to control a car, what we are doing is, car consisting of three parameters like steering, acceleration, and brakes. So steering is used to control its direction, acceleration is to increase its speed, and brakes are to control the speed. So in order to control the car, we are controlling these three parameters. Means these three parameters are affecting the performance of the car. So what a PLC does is, PLC control these three parameters, which ultimately affects the system performance. So by using PLC, we are controlling some parameters which controls the entire system. History of PLC. Firstly, relay logic system was introduced in 19th century to make the complete process automatic. But because of so many advantages, later in 1960s, a American company called Bedford Associates introduced PLC with the name Modular Digital Controller. In short, it is called as MODICON, and later it has become popular as PLC. And in 1970s, microprocessors and microcontrollers are also introduced into the PLC to make the process easier and faster. Next, PLC architecture. Mainly, PLC consists of a rack or chassis, input-output section, communication buses, power supply, CPU, memory, and programming device. First, rack or chassis is the outer layer of the PLC which protects the entire PLC or inside the blocks of the PLC from outer environment. Next, this left side blue color block is input section and right side orange color block is output section. So input section connects the inputs with the PLC, means we have to connect inputs to the input section and we should take the output from the PLC. Next, communication buses. PLC consists of different modules inside it. So in order to communicate between inside its blocks, communication bus is required. Power supply. In order to run the PLC, power is mandatory, and based upon power supply, there are two types of PLCs. One is without SMPS and the other one is with SMPS. If the PLC is having SMPS, then we can directly give 230 volt supply as input to the PLC. If the PLC is not having any SMPS, then we have to give its specified voltage and currents, otherwise it will get damaged. Next, CPU, Central Processing Unit. This is a major part of the PLC. We can say that it is a brain of PLC where the entire program is processed, depends upon its input and gives the output. And memory block. In order to store the program, actually PLC runs on program. So in order to execute the program, first it has to store the program. So that program can be stored in memory block, as well as some data regarding that program or our experiment or process can be stored in that memory block. Next, programming device. So to give the program to the PLC, there is a device required. In olden days, there are different types of programming devices to give program to the PLC. But nowadays system, PC, desktop, mobiles can be used as programming devices to give the program to the PLC. Communication bus means it acts like a communication wire between different blocks. How PLC works? So PLC works completely based upon its PLC scan cycle. Firstly, it takes the inputs from the input section and executes based upon its program and gives the output to the outer section of the output device. And then again it checks for the input, whether is there any change in the input or not. If there is any change in the input, then according to the program it also changes the output and gives the output. Again it checks the input, whether any changes in the input or not, and this process is completely goes on. If there is no change in the input, then output doesn't change. It's programming languages of the PLC. As per IES standards, that is International Electrotechnical Commission standards, totally there are 5 languages of a PLC. First one is ladder diagram, sequential flow charts, functional block diagram, structure text, instruction list. So among these 5 languages, ladder diagram is very easy to understand, easy to learn, easy to edit, easy to modify, and easy to execute. So that is the reason why each and every company is going for ladder diagram. Ladder diagram or ladder logic. This is one of the best visual programming of a PLC, which is called as ladder diagram. Why it is called as ladder diagram means it looks like a ladder. So these vertical lines are called as rails and horizontal lines are called as rungs. These 4 are the basic components of the ladder diagram. First one is normally open contact. In short, it is called as NO contact. Second one, normally closed contact, NC contact. Third one is coil, that is inactive coil. Fourth one is active coil. Normally open contact means initially it is in open position of state and we can close that switch. Normally closed contact means initially it is in closed state and we can open that switch. Third one is output or coil, that is unenergized coil, and the fourth one is energized coil. Ladder logic rules. In order to write the program with the help of ladder logic, there are some rules. First one is always the program will get executed from top to bottom and left to right. So we have to start the program from top to bottom. And second rule is there must be at least one input in the each rung. At least each rung should contain at least one single input. And the third rule is that input should be at left sides and output should be at right sides, and inputs and outputs must have addresses. Why? Because PLC consists of n number of inputs and n number of outputs, and PLC doesn't know where we have connected our input and where we have connected our output. So in order to know where we have connected inputs and outputs, we should give addresses, and each line should have at least one output, and we can connect inputs either in series or parallel, depends upon our requirement, but outputs can be connected only in parallel, and we can use a single input n number of times, but we can't use a single output n number of times. So these are some basic logic gates: AND gate, OR gate, NAND gate, NOR gate. So we can execute these gates by using ladder diagram. So in order to execute AND gate, we have to connect two contacts, two normally open contacts series. So first one is A switch, second one is B, and the third one Y is this output, that is coil. So these two are normally open contacts, means initially they are in off state, so their value is 0. So if we close the switch, their state becomes 1. So now initially these two switches are in off position, so 0 and 0, output is also 0. If we close this second switch, it becomes 1. So first switch 0, second switch is 1, the output is 0. In third case, if you close the first switch, it becomes 1 and second switch is 0. So again we have to open the switch, so it becomes 0. So 1 0, output also 0 because 1 is in open position. In the last case, this is 1, so we have to close first switch, and B is also 1, so we have to close second switch. So now these two switches are closed switches, so output also turns on and state becomes 1. So similarly for OR gate, NAND gate, NOR gate.